Battle through the heavens, Grand World. Chapter 210 Identify. When Xiao Yan looked over at Zhao Qingshan, the latter seemed to have sensed something. He raised his head. When he looked at where Xiao Yan was, he couldn't help but snort when he saw Xiao Yan's figure. A cold look flashed across his eyes. When he went back yesterday, he couldn't remember where he had seen Xiao Yan. He just felt a sense of familiarity, but he had no idea. Sensing the doubt in Zhao Qingshan's eyes, Xiao Yan secretly sneered. When they met in Forest Domain, he came out of the cave in the Crimson Fire Flame Wolf. Due to the high temperature, he was bald and his clothes were tattered. It was normal that Zhao Qingshan couldn't recognize him. Xiao Yan withdrew his gaze and sat in the private room. Back then, this old man had ulterior motives. If it wasn't for the fact that the fire dragon needed a large amount of origin monarch ki to nourish the egg that had just entered his body, he would have turned into ashes a long time ago. He had to properly calculate this debt and how he should settle it. Soon, the hall was filled with people. The noise was deafening. Even though Xiao Yan was sitting in a private room, he still felt some ringing in his ears. The auction in Profound Yin Castle had done a lot of publicity. It was also the biggest auction that Xiao Yan had seen since he came to the Great World. While Xiao Yan was looking at the crowd with interest, a girl in a green shirt walked over. She came to Xiao Yan's private room and took out a token. The maid who was about to stop her changed her expression. She approached Xiao Yan's private room and knocked on the door gently. Xiao Yan frowned and opened the door. The maid outside swallowed her saliva and quickly bowed. "Sorry to bother you, sir. One of the masters of Profound Yin Sect had sent his subordinate to tell him something." Profound Yin Sect. Xiao Yan was stunned for a moment, then he slightly nodded his head, signaling for someone to come in. After the girl in green cloth came in, she slightly bowed her body. Then she took out a bamboo slip and said, "I am following the orders of the Lord of Jade Pavilion to convey the words of the Lord of Jade Pavilion." She said that she would make arrangements for the martial arts competition. After the auction ended, "Lord, please head to the place where the Profound Yin Sect is located. There will be people there to welcome you." This was the token. As for the auction item, the Lord of Jade Pavilion said that he didn't need to worry about it. "She'll pay for it." After saying that, the person handed the bamboo slip to Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan didn't say anything when he heard that. He also didn't show any expression on his face. After taking the bamboo slip, he nodded at the woman in the cloth shirt. The latter also left the private room and blended into the maidservants outside. Then, she quickly disappeared. Xiao Yan looked at the bamboo slip in his hand and the corner of his mouth curled up. This woman was really meticulous. He opened the bamboo slip. There was a detailed map of Profound Yin Castle drawn on it, especially the part of the Profound Yin Sect. The map was clearly drawn. Even the secret door was marked. It was obvious that Jade Fairy had done her best. Looking at the detailed map, Xiao Yan's eyes couldn't help but light up. He immediately focused all his attention on the map, memorizing the streets and buildings of the Profound Yin Castle in his heart. From Jade Fairy's tone, it seemed like the White Sun Spirit Lotus wouldn't be taken out by Yin Jushuan easily. This thing might be extremely important to Jade Fairy. Otherwise, Jade Fairy wouldn't have made a deal with him and made him make such a request to Yin Jushuan. It seemed like there was a lot of shady business between the two of them. Xiao Yan muttered in his heart. At that time, Yin Jushuan would do it out of consideration for his face. However, what would happen after that? However, he didn't know. At that time, the detailed situation of the Profound Yin Castle described on the map would be his life-saving straw. Although Jade Fairy had said that she would help him, she had to rely on a woman whom he could not see through. Xiao Yan was still worried. Dong. When Xiao Yan was carefully looking at the bamboo slip in his hand, the sound of a bell ringing suddenly resounded throughout the entire hall. Along with the ringing of the bell, the noisy sound instantly stopped. Everyone's eyes were looking at the luxurious hall on the high platform. There was a middle-aged man standing there. The middle-aged man had a stalwart figure, thick black hair, and eyes like stars. He wore a black robe embroidered with a purple flood dragon, and just by standing there, he gave off an aura that made people unable to look straight at him. Beside him, there were also a few black-robed figures standing beside the middle-aged man like stars surrounding the moon. They looked at the people below indifferently. When everyone's gaze landed on him, the middle-aged man laughed heartily. His loud voice resounded throughout the hall. Then, he cupped his fists. He said in a clear voice, "Thank you all for coming. Yin Jushuan will thank you all first." Although he said thank you, Yin Jushuan just cupped his fists and nodded towards the people in the hundreds of private rooms on the high platform. He only glanced at the people below indifferently. Sect Master Yin is too polite. We still need to thank Sect Master Yin for inviting us. Everyone in the private room cupped their fists and returned the greeting. Their polite words made Yin Jushuan laugh heartily. Alright, I won't say anything else. After the auction ends today, I would like to invite all of you to move to the Profound Yin sect. There will be a visual feast prepared by the Profound Yin sect there. After laughing out loud, Yin Jushuan flicked his finger. On the platform in the middle of the hall, an old man with slightly white hair nodded his head. After that, he cleared his throat and attracted everyone's attention. Everyone has waited for a long time. Now, the auction will begin. If you are interested in anything, feel free to help. This old man promises that everything this time will brighten everyone's eyes. Hearing the old man's words, everyone was startled. Then, their eyes revealed a strong joy. It seemed like the auction this time really had a high value of gold. Xiao Yan chuckled upon hearing this. This old man wasn't lying either. Although it was a little exaggerated, judging from the light green bead, there were many good items in this auction. The first auction item is the blood essence of the middle-rank heavenly beast Crimson Fire Flame Wolf. As the old man finished speaking, a round platform slowly rose from the platform. On the round platform, a fiery red stone pillar was quietly standing in the middle of a crystal glass. On top of it, a drop of blood-red liquid seemed to have a spirit of its own as it slowly flowed. Hey! Seeing the first auction item that appeared, Xiao Yan had a strange expression on his face. Then, he smiled faintly and looked towards a private room in the distance. That was where Zhao Qingshan was. In the private room, Zhao Qingshan was sitting on a chair. When he saw the stone pillar, he let out a surprised sound. Then, as if he had thought of something, his facial expression changed slightly. Two rays of light shot out from his eyes. He looked at the place where Xiao Yan was in shock. His originally calm face was now trembling slightly. It was him, he couldn't be wrong. After the appearance of the Crimson Fire Flame Wolf's blood essence stone pillar, Zhao Qingshan quickly recalled the experiences he had in Forest Domain a few years ago. After that, he suddenly thought of that bald kid. At this moment, the face of that bald kid and the appearance of the young man from yesterday had completely overlapped in his mind. No wonder he looked so familiar. It turned out to be him. Zhao Qingshan's face was filled with disbelief. How could that impoverished kid have reached such a level? Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.